Hey there, today we'll discuss a topic that every Mandarin learner must tackle: tones. Learning Mandarin tones can be quite challenging. In fact, just because your teacher or friends understand you, it doesn't necessarily mean that your tones are great. They might just be used to your way of speaking. This is the basis of misconception number 1. You learn tones in the beginning, then move on to other aspects of the language. While it's true most courses focus on pronunciation at the outset, it's a huge mistake to think you can leave tones behind once you've got the basics down. It's crucial to recognize that striving for accurate tones is not something that ends when you call yourself an advanced beginner. Tones need continuous practice and correction, so make it your habit to pay attention to tones each and every time you learn a new word or phrase. Regular practice and constant self-correction are key. Don't just assume you've nailed tones after your initial lessons. The second misconception is that you can learn tones effectively by studying them in isolation. Sure, it's important to know how each tone sounds individually, but in real conversations, tones interact with each other and can change. If you've been learning Chinese for any length of time, I'm sure you've heard of tone change rules. So instead of focusing solely on individual tones, practice them in the context of words and sentences. This helps you understand how tones shift and change in natural speech. Try using tone drills. Mimic whole sentences to get a feel for the flow and rhythm of the language. Even if a phrase video on YouTube wasn't specifically designed for tones practice, make use of that pause button and repeat the sentences out loud. Never simply say the sentences in your mind. That just doesn't work. The third misconception is that tones should be learned in a bottom-up approach. What do I mean by that? You start with individual syllables, then tone pairs, and build up to sentences. While this method has its place, I'm a firm believer in the top-down approach. Go ahead and jump into the deep end. Start pronouncing whole words and sentences even if your pronunciation fails miserably in the beginning. Try again. This method forces your brain to adapt to the complexities of tone combinations in real speech. Yes, it's challenging, but remember, no pain, no gain. The fourth misconception is that mastering tones is all about speaking. While practicing pronunciation is crucial, listening is equally important and often more difficult to master. In order to develop a well-rounded understanding of tones, you need to spend plenty of time listening to native speakers. This is going to help your brain recognize the correct tones and patterns in different contexts. So make sure your practice sessions don't always favor speaking above listening. Try and balance the two. To help assist you in immersing yourself in the language, our Chinese Learning Toolkit, linked in the description below and on the screen now, lists free resources for audiobooks, podcasts, Chinese radio stations, legal places to watch Chinese dramas, and so much more. Plus, there's no irritating sign-up. Misconception number 5 is very specific and quite possibly should be number 1. Don't get too caught up in the textbook description of the third tone. Instead, focus on how it's used in actual speech with lots and lots of listening practice. In reality, the third tone is often just a low, flat tone when used in sentences. Understanding this can help you pronounce the third tone more naturally. As a Chinese learner myself, I find it difficult to find free tones practice that focuses on words with more than 2 syllables. So I started creating learning materials for myself, and I'm excited to share them with you. The first video covers multi-syllable country names that start with the letters A and B. Several of them have 3 or more syllables, which can help you improve your real-world pronunciation and expand your vocabulary at the same time. There's also a free PDF linked under the video. After a few practice sessions, you can then check out the accompanying quiz video. With it, you can test your listening skills and reinforce your learning by identifying the correct tones as you hear the country names. Both videos are available now on my channel. That's all for this video. Follow me for more and see you next time.